Hey guys, I want to make another Beetrooper video for you guys today. Today we're doing test hands. I think that is one of the best ways to learn how to play a deck, especially if you're watching somebody on YouTube. So just an informative video for you guys for the Beetrooper squad that's trying to learn how the deck functions. So I hope that this is a big help to you guys if you are trying to pick up the deck and learn how it functions and learn the play style and see what lines of play you could make depending on what you draw, because obviously it's going to be the most realistic because we are drawing 5-card hands, and that's how Yu-Gi-Oh is, right? You start with 5 cards and you play with your entire hand, try to get as much advantage as you possibly can with those 5 cards. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. If you guys like videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. It would definitely be appreciated. Also, I'd love just to see and see your feedback, comment in the comment section. Yeah, I'd love to interact and see what you guys think of these videos. So we'll get right into the first test hand here. Nice little shuffle, full cut. All right, in our first 5-card hand, we have Rapid Fire, Scout Buggy, we have Resonance Insect, Beetrooper Formation, and the last card is Bullseye, which, so this is definitely a hand, It's very capable hand. There's multiple options we have with this hand. We have plenty of extenders. We have our starter being Scout Buggy. So we'll get right into it. We're going to start off by the normal summon of Scout Buggy. We're going to use the effect here. If we get hand trapped here, we're actually totally fine. So even if we get impermed or ashed or veilered or whatever the case may be, we actually have plenty of plays. Even if we get gammaed here, we actually have the Beetrooper formation to be able to continue playing. So, but for the sake of just like playing and comboing off, just to show you the full combo, and we're just going to play it out like our opponent doesn't have any hand traps in this scenario. So we're going to summon another copy of Scout Buggy from the deck. We're going to be able to special summon the Bullseye. We're going to activate the effect of Bullseye, take 200. We're going to use the, we're going to link summon, link 2 into the Armor Horn. That's going to allow us to gain an additional normal summon, which is amazing. The additional normal summon here is going to be the Resonance Insect. Rapid Fire is pretty nice. He's not totally necessary in this scenario. I'd rather trigger Resonance Insect multiple times this turn just to gain even more advantage. So we're going to go Chain Link 1 Pico. We're going to pitch the Rapid Fire for cost, Chain Link 2 Resonance Insect. We're going to search our first interruption, which is going to be our Sting Lancer. Oh, for those of you that don't know, this is Resonance Insect. I still haven't gotten the card yet, so it's the only card I'm proxying. It's the level 4 insect monster that's 1000 attack that says when it leaves the field to the grave, it'll search a level 5 or higher insect monster. Then when it gets banished, it'll Foolish Burial any insect. So those are the 2 effects that are super broken because it's not a hard once per turn. So again, we're searching our Sting Lancer because it's going to be our first interruption. Right here, and then we're going to resolve the effect of Pico to equip our second copy of Resonance Insect to the Armor Horn. What's really cool here is we have plenty of insects, so we're going to be able to resolve the effect of Pico to shuffle back 1 Scout Buggy, Rapid Fire specifically, because it's our only copy and we want to be able to follow it up, search it, and use it as a follow-up play next turn. And then it's not necessary to shuffle back the other Scout Buggy. We could just shuffle back the Bullseye here because as long as we have 2 copies of Scout Buggy, we'll be able to resolve the effect multiple times. So we're going to shuffle, and then we're going to draw a card. So the card that we draw here is not, we're not relying on the card at all. It's just nice to whatever we do draw. So in this case, it is another extender, which is nice. So Twin Bow. Probably won't even come up in this combo, might, but what's really cool here is I'm going to show you guys how we're going to be able to resolve 2 Resonance Insects. The banish effects are really going to come in handy. It's actually going to make our board better. So we're going to summon the Atlas, the Link 4, and because the Resonance Insect left the field, went to the field to the grave, from field to the graveyard, we're going to be able to resolve its effect once more. This time we're going to actually search our Doomdozer. So Doomdozer is just a very good extender. It's a big body, 2800. We're not going to summon it this turn, but again, we're just going to have it for the follow-up. Now we're going to activate the effect of Armor Horn. We're going to banish 3 insects from grave. So we're going to banish Scout Buggy and 2 Resonance Insects to special summon. Using the effect of both Resonance Insects, we're going to send Goki Pull as one of them. So did I skip it? No, it's right here. 1 Goki Pull, and then the second is going to be Sting the Poison. Goki Pull is going to trigger here. Normally I would search the Goki Boar so I could immediately summon it. But in this case, we actually do have the extra extender. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to search the Rapid Fire back, because Rapid Fire is actually an amazing follow-up, because he'll be able to revive the Sting back or the Goki Pull next turn, and be able to like go off. So just keep that in mind. So from here, we're going to activate the effect of Twin Bow, just a special summon. Now we're locked into insects for the rest of the turn, but it's not really relevant. We're going to activate the effect of Atlas to tribute that Twin Bow to special summon the second copy of Sting Lancer from the deck. And then Sting Lancer is actually going to get us our counter trap once more, Fly and Sting. And now we are almost done. We're going to Link 3. Armor Horde gets banished when it leaves the field because it was summoned by its own effect. And we are going to summon Seraphim. Seraphim on summon, because we use 2 insects to summon Seraphim, it gains 2 counters. And then you can only use 1 effect per turn. You can remove 1 counter, special summon any insect from your graveyard. So we're going to set the counter trap, and we're going to end it here. And then during the opponent's turn, we're going to be able to revive Sting the Poison using Seraphim's effect. And then on summon, Sting the Poison is going to actually be able to search us a Battlewasp monster. So we're going to search Bullseye just for an additional extender next turn. And with this hand, we have a negate with Sting the Poison. We're going to be able to tribute the Seraphim to target a face-up monster they control and negate its effects. And then we'll be able to use the counter trap to negate an additional monster effect. And then lastly, we're going to be able to activate the effect of Sting Lancer to target any of our insect monsters and a monster our opponent has in the graveyard, and shuffle both of them into the deck. That way we can disrupt the opponent's graveyard in case they do rely on that specific monster being in the graveyard. And then usually on summon you would get to search for your field spell, but we did hard draw, which is totally fine. So we shuffle back the Goki Pull here because it is the one-of that we do want to shuffle back, so we could resolve it potentially next turn. And then, guys, we have so much follow-up. Like, again, if they just clear, even if they clear the entire board, we just have a lot. We have so much. So we'll draw for turn. We drew a multiplication of ants, and then with this hand, we'll basically be able to clear their board. Because we do have also, like, insects to banish for the Doomdozer. So just to give you guys an idea, like say like they have negates if it's difficult really, especially if it's a combo deck, that they played through a counter trap, a Sting Lancer, and Sting the Poison. Like if they built like a very powerful board, but let's say they cleared our board and ended with like a negate or 2. So we'll be able to start off by activating Formation. If they negate this, that's fine. It's an extender that will get us back Atlas, so I don't blame them for, you know, negating this. And then say we normal summon the Rapid Fire and use its effect, and then they still negate it. That's totally fine. We can still summon Bullseye. And then we can summon the Doomdozer. We also have multiplication of ants, which is great. We could actually keep it in hand, honestly. Yeah, we could use a multiplication of ants, get 2 tokens, use both tokens to summon Pico, and then discard the Doom Dozer, targeting the bullseye, equipping the Resonance Insect, then using Pico's effect. We'll shuffle Doom Dozer back, we'll shuffle one of the Lancers back, and we'll shuffle Rapid Fire back. Okay, just to show you guys what you can do, like through 2 negates even, as your follow-up. Okay, we're gonna draw a card. Let's see what we draw. Primitive Butterfly. That's great because again, we don't want to rely too much on the draw. I mean, it's great if we did draw something great, but if we didn't, we still have plays. Primitive Butterfly will just serve a different purpose here. So here we're going to be able to go into a Link 3. We could go Nightmare Unicorn here, which is probably what I would do. Honestly, I would go Chainlink 1, Resonance Insect, Chainlink 2, Nightmare Unicorn. We'll pitch the Primitive Butterfly to spin a card, and then on resolution we'll be able to search Doom Dozer once more. And now we're going to be able to special summon Doom Dozer by banishing the Resonance Insect and the Primitive Butterfly, triggering Resonance Insect to actually send Goki Pole here. And then Goki Pole is going to be able to search us a Worm Warrior. And I just want, like, this is insane, right? Because like I'm assuming that they had 2 negates after playing through our board and then clearing our board, and then this is what we were still able to do. Still able to potentially play through 2 disruptions, and then we're gonna banish any insect to summon the Worm Warrior, and then we're gonna be able to link 4 into an access code, target the Unicorn to be able to gain 3,000, and we have no, that's another dark. We have 2 and 3. So we have 3 pops with access code talker. We spun a card with Unicorn, and this is game. So yeah, that was an amazing test hand. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's move on to the next test hand. Alright guys, I feel like we've had a successful 2 test hands so far. So here's the last test hand. I'm trying to keep the video under 20 minutes if possible. Plus I feel like by the 3rd test hand you should have a good idea of how the deck functions. It's a consistent plays that you usually go for. Sometimes the plays are a bit weird, like the lines of play that you do make depending on what you draw. You might have to like jump through some hoops to get to the end board, but for the most part they are very, very similar. Pico is great because Pico right here is your Union Carrier. She's amazing because she does get you to your Resonance Insect, and then that's how you get the ball rolling. And I love the Shuffle 3, Draw 1 as well, because as you saw in those test hands, we do reuse a lot of the same 1-ofs, many of the same 1-ofs. So it's nice to be able to shuffle them back and recycle them and then use them the following turns. That way we can play the grind game if we need to. So here we go, guys. Last test hand. IO, Imperm, Buzz, Scale Bomber, and then Lightning Storm. So unfortunately with this hand, it is a it's two insects. Unfortunately, these are 2 extenders. 2 extenders alone will not get you there, unfortunately, because Pico needs to target another insect, and we can't really do anything with just like 1 armor horn. So it really, really sucks that we actually like I mean, it's sort of a brick. Like the funny thing is, right, is that like you could potentially do this. You could normal summon Bullseye, and then special Bomber, and then set IO, set Imperm, and with this board you do have an interruption with Bomber, because you could just tribute the Bullseye to like if they activate a monster effect, you could like tribute the Bullseye to destroy that monster, and then IO's broken, and then you have the Imperm. So I mean, like this is basically the only true dead card. Everything else did serve a purpose. Next turn we draw a Doom Dozer, so if they happen to clear this, we have the Doom Dozer to at least beat over stuff and sit behind the IO until we potentially draw something. But Not an exciting test hand. I kind of want to do one more just because definitely not satisfied with that last test hand. So we'll do one more. Those hands rarely happen. Like rarely happen. Honestly, you just have like too many extenders. Like we still drew 2 extenders. Unfortunately, with those 2 extenders, we couldn't really do much. If we had one more insect potentially in the hand, then we could have done something. But yeah, we could have, if we had any other insect, we could have done something, but because it was IO, Imperm, and then a Lightning Storm, unfortunately we couldn't. So it's fine. We still had defensive cards, which was, you know, it could still like stall the game long enough to where we could potentially draw into enough to be able to start playing the game and, you know, start to play more aggressively, but totally fine. Alright, so now I promise last test hand. Okay, we have Foolish, we have Twin Bow, Imperm, Scout Buggy, and Scout Buggy. Okay, this hand's totally fine. Foolish Burial here. Foolish is actually really good in the deck because when you Foolish Goki Pole going second, you could add the normal monster and then pop a monster they control. So Foolish does act as an extender and removal as well, especially when you're going second. Anyway, let's move on. Last test hand, normal summon Scout Buggy, use the effect. We're going to special the other one from deck. And then just keep that other one in hand. Now we're going to special the Twin Bow. We're going to be able to, yeah, we're just going to link summon into the link 2 here. Armor Horn. And then we're going to Foolish Burial into a Goki Pole. Alright, we're going to send Goki Pole to the grave, and then Goki Pole is going to add Goki Boar, because Goki Boar is just going to serve as a free extender since it was a normal monster. And I don't want to banish anything yet, so I don't want to add the Worm Warrior and then banish cards that I might need later. Summon the Pico. We're going to pitch that Scout Buggy to equip the Resonance. Now we're going to activate the effect of Pico to shuffle 1 back, shuffle 2, and shuffle 3. So we do want to shuffle... we want to shuffle at least 1 Scout Buggy because this Scout Buggy can special summon any of the Scout Buggies from grave, which is awesome. And then we want to have the 1-ofs back in deck to be able to abuse Goki Pole next turn and potentially use its effect when you add a normal monster to pop a monster. So we're going to go into a link 4. We're going to go into the Big Daddy Atlas. And Resonance Insect was sent to the grave, so we are going to search the Sting Lancer, being one of our disruptions. So I hope you guys see the pattern, right? It's a very similar pattern. We're going to activate the effect of Armor Horn. We're going to banish Resonance Insect. We're going to banish the Twin Bow, and we could banish 1 Scout Buggy. So we're going to banish these 3 cards to summon the Armor Horn. Now here, unfortunately, we did use the effect of Goki Pole because we did rely on that card to be an extender. So here we could basically just send any insect of our choosing. We could send a primitive butterfly, so we don't draw it, or we can send a Sting the Poison in case we can special summon it next turn from the grave with Seraphim. But yeah, for here, because nothing's like for sure, I do want to minimize the amount of bricks that we'll have in the deck moving forward. So I will just send the Primitive Butterfly, so that way we have less chances of drawing it. We're going to activate the effect of Atlas to tribute is it tributing? You can tribute. Yeah, tribute. I just want to make sure it's tribute and not send. So now we're going to activate the effect of Atlas. We're going to tribute the Armor Horn. It gets banished because it was summoned by its own effect. Summon the second copy of Lancer. And then Lancer is going to search us that tasty counter trap. Okay, guys. And here is the end right here. We have the Imperm. So we have 1, 2, 3 disruptions. So you are, for the most part, getting a consistent 3 disruptions with this deck. Plus a decent amount of like follow-up. So our follow-up here in this case, so we're going to Imperm, counter trap, and then we're going to activate the effect. We're going to shuffle back I'm gonna shuffle back the Pico, so that way we do maintain resources in the extra deck, and then on summon it's going to be able to search us the field spell, which is pretty nice. And then here our follow-up game unfortunately is not nearly as good because we didn't have access to like Sting the Poison and Seraphim to be able to like search follow-ups, but nonetheless, if say they did get through some stuff, like if they cleared these two cards, we're going to draw for turn. We got an extender, which is nice. We have the Atlas to be able to tribute itself to summon Scout Buggy, and then Scout Buggy can summon another Scout Buggy from the graveyard. And then we're going to special the Bullseye, take 200. And here we have different options. It depends really how you want to play it. If you want to play a bit more aggressively, and you know exactly what your opponent has, or you have an idea of exactly what they have. I mean, after 3 disruptions, they're not going to have as many resources, so always keep that in mind, unless they opened up absolutely busted. I mean, and that's definitely a possibility. Activate the effect of Pico here. We're going to equip another copy of Resonance Insect to Bullseye, and then we're going to activate the effect of Pico. We're going to shuffle back 1 Scout Buggy, we're going to shuffle back 1 Lancer, and actually, let's make it 2 Lancer. We'll shuffle back both Lancers. Actually, you know what? We'll shuffle back a Atlas instead. Okay, that way we keep resources going. It's amazing. This Pico it's so great, man. Pico, like Lancer shuffled back the Pico, and then Pico shuffles back Lancer. Just so good that you have a good resource game for sure. Oh, draw a card. Okay, that's not relevant. So here you actually, you know what's crazy, guys? It's that here you have your OTK. You still have your OTK. As long as you have this setup right here, the Pico with any insect, and like you successfully equipped the Resonance Insect, you'll always be able to go the Unicorn play, which is Unicorn to pitch, and then shuffle a card, and then Resonance Insect to search the Dozer, and then summon the Dozer by banishing Resonance Insect. That's why it's so important that you guys maintain resources and keep shuffling back those one-ofs, because this is how they come up. So you're going to banish the Bullseye and the Resonance Insect to be able to summon Dozer, and then Resonance Insect is going to trigger to send to Foolish the Gokipole once again. Alright, and then Gokipole is going to search us the Worm Warrior, and then we're just going to banish any insect, an insect that we don't really want to rely on in the graveyard. So we're going to special the Worm Warrior, and then we're going to link 4 again into the access code. It's so consistent, man. This play is so consistent. And then you have 1 pop, and that is it. So you only have 1 pop with this particular board, but you do have a pop and a shuffle. So you have a pop and a shuffle, and if you cleared their board, that's game once again. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed those test hands. And by the end of this video, you have learned how the deck functions, and you're ready to play test for yourself and possibly take the deck to locals. So I do appreciate you guys watching, especially watching until the end. Thank you guys so much. Once again, please, if you did enjoy, like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.